Hi everybody, I'm Andy Murray from WhatCulture.com.
And I'm Adam Cleary from WhatCulture.com.
And coming up on this second news video of the day, I have all the exclusives on the Twitter beef between two WWE superstars.
There is a beefy boy being suspended by not WWE.
We got news from Moo Japan Pro Wrestling, who've been forced to cancel events due to the Typhoon.
CM Punk has announced he will be doing a Reddit AMA in which there will undoubtedly be beef.
And a bunch of feuds, a bunch of wrestlers are going to settle their beef in New Japan Power Struggle. First 4 matches, that's free, announced.
Jushin Thunder Liger has announced 2 retirement matches, which will be, to put the glazing on top of this, steak sauce. Welcome to the. It's not good after news, is it? It's like we're the brunch boys.
Brunch boys. Beefy brunch boys.
The beefy brunchy boys.
Adam Cleary, milk that content cow.
Yes, coming up for you first today, Mike Kanellis has asked for his retirement, although he's done it by posting this trend now of politicians and public figures like posting an Apple Notes asking for a thing or a big public apology. Mike Kanellis has done that to ask for his release from WWE. Again, yes, he did it last night. Of course, I should point out, Maria Kanellis denies they did it the first time, but of course they did do it the first time. They got denied by WWE. They re-signed their contract and have been embroiled in this critically panned cuckold storyline ever since. Whenever Mike Kanellis is on television, he is completely emasculated by the rest of the roster, and worst of all, his wife. And what you can only decide is Vince McMahon thinking the worst punishment a man can face is for his wife to make fun of his prowess in bed. So he has asked for his release again. He has said that working 1 day a week is just not going to cut it for him, and that to work and that opportunity does not exist for him right now. He is taking his work frustrations and misery home and does not want to do that anymore. It's a really, really, really long statement. You can go read the whole thing for yourself over on Mike Kanellis' Twitter, but we'll get to a bit more of what happened for him on Twitter last night, but the end result was him asking for his release. And it's sad, because Mike Kanellis is a good wrestler, but this has just been horrible, relentlessly horrible for months now.
Yeah, he's had a really, really weird behind-the-scenes couple of years. He obviously had some problems that led to him going to rehab and stuff. He recovered. Him and Maria asked for the release back in January. They didn't get it. They then re-signed with the company in June. And now he's on Twitter. He's asking for his release again. He's taken the Luke Harper / Ty Dillinger approach. That worked out for Ty. Didn't really work out for Luke Harper. It's hard to see WWE ever really letting go of the guy. But who can blame him? The guy shows up to work, he doesn't get used on TV, and then when he does get used on TV, he gets embarrassed and says, oh, Ricochet and Rusev actually shagged your wife, and
it's one of these where I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I wonder how this is going to end. I wonder how they're going to give him the big payoff. I wonder how he is going to come out with this looking good, because obviously he's effectively painting him as a sympathetic babyface who's being maligned by his wife and bullied by the rest of the roster. I can't wait to see how he gets his own back on all this, and every week he just never, ever does. His gimmick is just that his wife shags other people, and I really hope they give him his release because he's a damn good worker and he'll kill it on the indies.
And I'm sure he's a lovely guy as well.
Yeah.
But he was getting a bit spicy on Twitter last night, and it was a little bit weird. It was a little bit weird because when you see things like this, you automatically think, well, it's a work and they're trying to build towards something, but when a guy asks for his release just a few hours afterwards, you think, maybe not so much. So what happened was, the Mike got into it with Leo Rush on Twitter last night. Mike tweeted the following. He's deleted it. He's actually deleted every tweet on his account apart from his release request. He tweeted this. He said, "You won 2 matches. Chill out. There's an entire roster of cruiserweights that were grinding and working their ass off for our brand while you were sitting at home for bad behavior. Let's not act like you weren't gift wrapped the Cruiserweight Championship." Leo Rush came back with an absolute dunk on Mike Kanellis, which I really appreciate because Leo Rush is tremendous. He said, "You're right, I was home, reflecting on my past and how I can get better. Getting back on a positive road to become a champion literally and figuratively. Spending time with my children that are actually mine. Good. I get your anger. Trust me, win a match first. Maybe we can talk later." So that's Mike Kanellis dead then.
Yeah, to be fair, even if he hadn't asked for his release, that'd be the last you'd be seeing him on WWE television because, as you say, he is dead now. It did look all the world like a work, this, because it was there was elements of storyline in it and there was elements of their personal stuff, but stuff that was kind of publicly known. It felt like they were definitely trying to build a program with all that. And to be fair, it's not like Mike Kanellis didn't have a point.
Yeah.
And, a surefire way into a title program is to point out that the current champion did not deserve that opportunity and I have all this time. It's wrestling booking 101. So to see it end with Mike Kanellis deleting every single tweet on his account and then asking for his release, I was quietly surprised by. There's no way all of this is a work, is there?
You gotta think that like stuff like not deserving it and stuff. Come on, like Lio Rush is a tremendous pro wrestler. To say he doesn't deserve it is kind of ridiculous to me. But either way, it's loads of fun, isn't it? Like wrestlers taking shots at each other, whether it's in character or out of character. It's all part of the big theatre spectacle, baby. Get that popcorn and enjoy.
Well, speaking of wrestlers taking shots at each other, some controversy in Insane Championship Wrestling north of the border. Joe Coffey, NXT UK star and former ICW World Champion, has been suspended by ICW for interrupting a match and then continuing a scrap with both the participants of the match and Mark Dallas, the owner, and security guards and whatnot. And ICW are insisting for all the world this is not a word, this is genuinely real. So we must thus take it in good faith. Their statement said, due to management decision, as of the week commencing the 14th of October 2019, that's the week me and you live in right now, Joe Coffey has been removed from all upcoming Insane Championship Wrestling Limited events. New participants for advertised matches featuring Coffey will be announced in due course. Bollocks.
Yeah.
Absolute bollocks. They tried to make this look like it was genuinely a shoot thing, and they're not actually publishing the match. It was a Stevie Boy versus Ravy Davy on the Gonzo event. They're not putting the match up because apparently Coffey interrupted it, and it was all it dragged the promotion and the industry into disrepute and all this. So they're not going to show it. But however, this is NXT UK's Joe Coffey, a man who's been in the title picture over there, a man who would probably not chuck away his entire wrestling career just to wail on two people in the middle of a show. Yeah,
he's been in ICW for 8 years. If you watch the footage that somebody shared on Twitter, he's like, the punches are clearly work, the selling and stuff going on. It's a work, but you know, like Coffey celebrated by swigging some Buckfast, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's good in our books for that, but it's ICW they're gonna go for all the world. Obviously, if you're not already aware, ICW have a cozy relationship, let's say, with WWE. They're one of the pre-approved promotions that performers can work for. So Coffey being in NXT has no. But this isn't. When you read this initially, if you're not really aware of the arrangement, you might think, oh no, WWE have asked them to pull another wrestler.
Yeah.
Absolutely not going to be that in this case, unfortunately.
Not the case. Let's move on. Let's cross the Pacific Ocean and go over from America, not from here.
Yeah.
Be a long journey.
How do you get here from? How do you get there?
Cows, usually. Cows. Basically, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Obviously, Japan is in a very, very difficult situation at the moment. Typhoon, Hagibis, and I believe...
Is that right?
According to BBC News, that's how you pronounce it. If it's wrong, I am very sorry. But it's ravaging the country. There have been, I believe, 53 deaths at the time of recording. Terrible, terrible stuff. And it has had a detrimental impact on New Japan Pro Wrestling as well. Yesterday we saw Dean Ambrose.
Nicholas did this as well. Nicholas did that as well.
What a numpty. What a couple of numpties. John Moxley couldn't make the show. He was stripped of the IWGP United States Championship. As a result of this, Lance Archer went on to win it. Zack Sabre Jr. also couldn't make the show. Forced a bit of a reshuffle on the card. Kevin Kelly didn't get to the show until 10 minutes before bell time. Not ideal. There's another change here. New Japan had a Road to Power Struggle show scheduled for this Friday, the 18th of October. That is now cancelled. Tricky thing there is that these Road to shows, while ostensibly house shows, were set to feature tag team tournament matches. They've got the Junior Tag League on the go at the moment. There were going to be some matches on that show. They'll need to be rescheduled. But, you know, there's a typhoon.
Yeah, there's bigger things going on. I saw a lot of people on Twitter being like, is this some AEW conspiracy? So there's Moxley hasn't got to lose. No, there's genuinely a giant typhoon.
Tony Khan's typhoon machine, is it?
It's just like
morons.
The fact that people are having to come out and be like, no, this is not a work. This is not a wrestling thing. It is a typhoon.
Yeah.
You cannot fight a typhoon. You cannot book a typhoon.
And then people looked at John Moxley being stripped of the belt, but there's precedent with that as well. WhatCulture's boy, Togi Makabe, had a similar situation. Couldn't defend the belt due to a flu a few years ago. It's how it works.
Some slightly better news for New Japan. We're going to reshuffle my little lord here. Some slightly better news for New Japan, although tinged with an element of sadness. For me, Jushin Thunder Liger has announced not one but 2 retirement matches, and very conveniently, one of them's on my birthday.
Hey,
isn't that very nice? He's got his first retirement match on January the 4th, and his second retirement match on January the 5th, with his retirement ceremony on January the 6th. That is going to be... Whoa, what a weekend that's going to be for the boys over there. That's going to be incredible. When asked about this, asked who he'd like to wrestle, he said, I'm a wrestler, and because of that, I want to wrestle anybody I haven't wrestled yet. Takahashi.
Yujiro.
Yeah.
Not Yujiro, sorry, Hiromu. You don't want Yujiro Takahashi in there. Yeah, that'd be bags of fun. I mean, it's been rumoured. It'd be really cool. It's been teased. It's been hinted at before. I think it'd be an awesome first time ever
match.
In this first retirement match, we have a whole bunch of crazy old dudes are in this thing. We got a bunch of people from Liger's past, basically, and a bunch of guys who are literally over 70 years old. We've got Tiger Mask, we've got Great Sasuke, we've got Shinjiro Otani, Ryusuke Taguchi's in there for the banter. We've also got guys like Tatsumi Fujinami. You know, it's going to be a bunch of mad dad lads just popping the boys and having fun and like doing holds and like getting their baps out and stuff. I can't wait, man.
We had him for the Pro Wrestling World Cup not too very long ago, and obviously the man's age is not exactly on his side.
No.
You would not have known that at all.
No,
he was genuinely absolutely fantastic when we had him over.
Yeah.
And a nice man to boot.
Lovely man, great shape, great lad. We will miss him dearly. Further New Japan news. Typhoon continues, baby. They have confirmed the first 4 matches for the Power Struggle pay-per-view on the 3rd of November. I mean, technically there's 5 because the final of the Junior Tag League will be on this, but confirmed matches so far are Intercontinental Champion Jay White defending against Hiroki Goto. Never Openweight Champion Kenta defending against Tomohiro Ishii. We've seen that about 700 times lately, unfortunately. Speaking of matches we've seen 700 times and probably never want to see again, Tetsuya Naito versus Taichi. And we've also got Okada and Yoshihashi versus Kota Ibushi and Hiroshi Tanahashi. So, couple of stuff there, a bunch of stuff building to the Tokyo Dome, bunch of stuff building on King of Pro Wrestling, shaping up to be a pretty decent card. King of Pro Wrestling obviously went down yesterday. Big stories coming out of that. Okada beats Sanada, Ibushi beats Evil. Tokyo Dome main event confirmed. Cool.
And one final thing before we leave you, a little bit closer to home, although not really, probably as the crow flies. CM Punk has a movie coming out at the end of this month on the 25th. It's called Woman or Girl on the Third Floor. I keep getting it mixed up with the name of the McFly song. Girl on the Third Floor. It is a horror film. It genuinely looks, for all wrestlers going into relatively low budget, like action fare or slasher fix, they're normally quite bad. This is already getting quite good reviews at various movie festivals. It looks really good. Check out the trailer if you can. It genuinely looks like he might be able to act and this might be a cohesive story, but it's coming out on the 25th of October, so he is doing a Reddit Ask Me Anything on the 17th of October.
That's my birthday.
Hey! That'll be, hey, that's a birthday beefy news thing. Yes, that's undoubtedly going to get completely taken over by wrestling fans asking wrestling questions and rather than film nerds asking film questions. So we will, I don't know if we'll do some big update on that or like try and do it live, but no doubt there'll be some interesting revelations coming out of that, or if nothing else, he'll probably have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, he just closed his Pro Wrestling Tee store as well, apart from one shirt, so, you know.
Oh, WWE confirmed then, is it?
Big things going on with Chick Magnet Phil, that's our title, and our thumbnail. Cool. Anyway, thanks for joining us today for the second news video of the day. Please remember, you can listen to these things on podcasts. I don't know Will Bornspiel because he's more professional than me. You can follow us on Twitter at WhatCulture WWE. That's where you can send us our Twitter questions. We will get to the next batch tomorrow morning. We haven't done any just now. You can follow this lovely gentleman, this great man, on Twitter at
Adam Cleary, Clery. Where can they get you?
Yeah, you can follow me at Andy H. Murray, Andy H. Moody, more like, because cows, the H stands for how have I worked another crap cow joke into this shtick. Anyway, bye.